Hello and welcome to the Computer Labs YouTube channel. So today I am going to show you how to cut out a shape or cut a slice off an image using Affinity Photo. I'm currently using it on the Mac, but you can get this program on Windows as well. So if you want to learn how to cut a slice off an image in Affinity Photo, carry on watching. So the first thing we need to do is open Affinity Photo up. You can get this program on the Windows. I'm using it on the Mac. But open your program up, open Affinity up. I'll just resize the window on the screen here so we can see it a bit better, because I am using a couple of images just on the desktop on the left there that I want to be able to drag across so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so up to File, we need to create a new workspace. You can use one of the default ones. I'm just going to use the web default one, 2560 by 1440. But like I said, if you want to set a different workspace up, then you can just go into the manual settings just in the middle and just enter your pixel size that you want to set your end graphic or picture to be. So once you've got your workspace set, then you need to drag on your image or open your image onto your work area. So I have two images that I have already preset onto the desktop just to make this tutorial easier. I'm just going to left click and obviously just drag them into the workspace. They are slightly bigger than the 2560 1440, so I just need to manipulate these, drag them around a bit just so I can get them to something that looks okay for us to work with. So I'm just obviously put the flower just to the right there. Just going to leave a bit of white space to the left of it. And I'll just get my other image and left click again, drag it onto my workspace. And again, just resize this image how I would like it to look. So just get it something like, once I get it like, will zoom the picture back up. Okay, so happy about that. About there, I think. Zoom the picture so we see what we're doing. So if you're not used to working with layers and photo editing programs, on the right hand side, usually in these type of programs, when you are stacking layers, the one at the bottom is hidden by the layer above it. So anything that's at the top is your top layer, and as you work your way down, if you get multiple layers, obviously these will be hidden by the top layer. So I have the picture on the top that I want to work with, and if I drag the flower onto the top layer, then that would hide the image with the face on that I want. Okay, so I'll just zoom back out so we can see what's going on. So the aim is to slice, as indicated with the red dots, across the top layer image. So to do that, we need to go across onto the left-hand side toolbar where we have the Shapes tool. So we pick up the Shapes tool in here, and I will show you the different shapes just at the end and the way to do a different one. But in this initial one, we want to pick the trapezoid tool up, and then we want to draw the shape onto our workspace. So you can see straight away that my angle is wrong. I need to flip this shape around. I'll just pick the select tool and just move it so you can just see what's going on as I drag it across. It sort of masks that top layer. But like I say, this shape is the wrong way around, so I need to flip the angle round so I can play around with it. So up to arrange on the top toolbar, and then we just need to go down to flip vertically, and that will just flip the shape over, and now we have the angle started to show how we expect to see it. And double click on the blue line once you've got the select tool picked, and then you can pick up the movable anchor points on your particular shape that you're working with. I'm just going to move the this back angle just to square it off to the shape. That just allows me just to show the front angle a bit better. So as you can see, you can play around, stretch the shape around, and you can also move the anchor points like I just showed you with the back angle on the shape. So look where you want the angle to sit, and you can see grabbing the anchor point, just move it around, slide it backward and forward to something that you think is going to look right. Once it's in position, then we're okay to look at applying our next bit. So again, on the right hand side, into our layers section, you can see now the trapezoid shape that we've just placed, and you can see the other layers underneath that particular shape. So the aim is to drag the trapezoid, the shape, onto the layer that we want to cut. So we don't want that where it's highlighted out. We want that little blue. You can see just to the right of the image. Once you have that little blue box, you can then let go, and that will immediately slice the top layer that we are applying the layer mask to, or the shape that we have applied. Again, we can move this around once we've got the cut and the angle where we want. So you can just pick the select tool and drag the shape around. Again, go to the bottom layer, drag that around, and maybe get it to something like, if you are playing around with two images, you might purely be just cutting the corner off or slicing an image, a single image, so you might not have two images, but I'm just using it just to give us the two contrasts on this tutorial on how to slice in Affinity Photo. Okay, so that's the first one that we've done. I will just quickly show you how to do cut a shape out of an image and apply that onto top of a secondary image. So to do that, obviously we need to create another workspace. So I'll just go to File, New. I'll leave it on the same settings to get our workspace open, and I'll drag the same two images across. So I'll drag the flower across. Again, I just need to resize this, so I'll just zoom out and just get this to something that I like. And I think what we'll aim for, if I put the flower sort of in the top left-hand corner-ish, and we'll aim to get the face in the bottom right-hand corner of this particular image. But what we'll do, we'll put that inside a shape this time instead of slicing it or cutting it. Okay, so zoom this back out. We now need to get the secondary layer or image in. So this is our first layer that we have in now. Drag the secondary image in. And again, resize this to how we want this to look. So just pick up the layer that you want to be working with. And I've just got the wrong layer selected, so just undo that a second, go back and make sure we have the right layer selected, and then resize how we want it. I'm going to sort of try and get it in the right place first time, so we don't have to mess about too much in this video. So I'm going to aim for the face to look sort of in that bottom right hand corner, around about there. So again, what we need to do, make sure you get your layers in the right order, and once you have the layers selected in your place that you want, again you need to go across over to the shape tool, pick the tool that you want. I'm going to go for a star, I think, on this particular one. So I'll pick the star tool up, and you obviously left click on your work area and drag it the shape how you want and what size you want it to be. Works the same as the trapezoid, they all work the same. If you double click on the blue line, it will open up the anchor points which you can play, squeeze and stretch around. I'm going to try and make it look a bit like a flower petal. So I'm just dragging these around just to change the star shape slightly to give us an image that we want it to look like. Just resize it. I'm just going to drag it across over to my image, just see if I can get it something like how I want it to look. So I want it to sit over top of the face, somewhere about there, I think. I think that should be okay at that. Just make sure all my layers are in order and how I want them to be, which they all are. I will zoom the picture up a bit so we can see what we're doing, so it looks a bit clearer for you guys watching. Okay, so again, same principle. We need to drag the top layer, the shape that we've just created, and we need to drag it onto the layer that we want to cut. So left click on the mouse again, and we want to drag onto our layer, onto our image, sorry, and then once it's picked and we have a little blue box, let go and it will cut the image out. And you can see straight away our shape now has cut out, and I'd say that looks pretty good first time. It's pretty central at that, so pretty okay with that, I would say. But if you did want to manipulate the image and move it around, you can do this by left clicking on a particular area on your layers screen. So make sure you click on the actual item itself, and that then allows you to make sure you have the select tool selected, move the actual shape around. So I've got the layer picked, the shape layer picked at the moment. And if I wanted to move both of them together, obviously highlight the top one, that picks them both, and I can move it around the screen and how I want it to look. Well, that's it. That's how to slice an image in Affinity Photo. and also how to cut a shape into an image or a photograph in Affinity Photo. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up. Please, any comments below, and please do subscribe to my channel. It all helps in creating more videos for the Computer Labs YouTube channel. And thank you very much for watching.